Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so Prime Minister Carney's latest cabinet shuffle. It's definitely made some waves already, particularly out in Alberta.
Big waves, yeah. We're seeing some really strong words from Premier Danielle Smith.
Right, but interestingly, also maybe a glimmer of optimism from the business side of things on another appointment.
Exactly. So today we're kind of trying to unpack these initial Alberta reactions, figure out what they might mean right now.
Let's dive into those concerns first. Premier Smith, she really didn't hold back about the new Environment Minister, Julie Dabrusin.
No, she didn't. Describing her as, I think the term was anti-oil and gas.
Yeah, and pointing to Dabrusin's past work, like designating plastics as toxic, opposing oil sands expansion.
And, advocating for phasing out oil and gas altogether. That's pretty direct criticism.
It really paints a picture of deep mistrust from the get-go. Feels like setting up a confrontation.
Well, and Smith also highlighted Dabrusin's ties to Steven Guilbeault, her predecessor, who, let's face it, wasn't exactly popular in Alberta government circles.
Right, she was his parliamentary secretary. Smith definitely sees that connection negatively.
And then Smith's chief of staff, Rob Anderson, put out that very blunt social media post.
Oh, yeah, the fire, meet gas comment. I mean, that leaves little room for interpretation, does it?
Not really. It just ramps up the tension immediately. It
Yeah.
speaks volumes about how they see this appointment fitting into the bigger picture.
The bigger picture being those existing federal climate policies, right? Like the net zero goals, the emissions cap.
Exactly. The clean electricity regulations, too.
Uh,
All things Smith has warned could cause a national unity crisis if they aren't changed.
and remember, Alberta just recently decided to freeze its own industrial carbon price.
At $95 a ton, yeah. That puts them on a direct collision course with Ottawa's plan for escalating prices.
Mm.
So Dabrusin's appointment just feels like pouring gasoline on that simmering fire.
It really highlights that feeling in Alberta, or at least in the government, that they're being targeted.
And maybe a feeling of being underrepresented, too. I mean, only one Alberta MP in Carney's cabinet, Eleanor Olszewski from Edmonton.
Right, and Corey Hogan from Calgary, another Liberal MP, didn't get a spot. That probably doesn't help bridge any gap.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's shift gears a bit, because it wasn't all negative reaction coming out of Alberta.
True, the business community seemed to have a much warmer take on the new energy minister, Tim Hodgson.
Yes, that was quite a contrast. Adam Legg from the Business Council of Alberta sounded quite positive.
He mentioned Hodgson's real-life experience with Alberta's energy sector. That seems key.
And his understanding of the, quote, challenging policy environment. So the sense is maybe he gets it,
Yeah.
gets the complexities.
Well, his background probably helps there. He was an executive at Meg Energy, right? A Calgary-based oil sands company.
Exactly. That kind of direct industry experience is something they likely value. It suggests he might understand the practical side of things.
Heather Exner-Pirot, an energy analyst, even said his appointment gives the most cause for optimism for Alberta's energy sector within the whole Liberal caucus.
Which is quite a statement. It
Equally.
suggests maybe, just maybe, there's a potential for a more, let's say, pragmatic conversation on the energy file now.
So it's a real split screen, isn't it? Anxiety and confrontation vibes around the environment portfolio.
But cautious hope, perhaps, around the energy portfolio, driven by that industry experience.
It really sums up the tightrope walk, I suppose. The tension between federal climate goals and Alberta's economic reality.
Absolutely. These appointments haven't magically solved the underlying friction, but that positive reaction to Hodgson is, well, it's notable. The business community seems hopeful for a different kind of dialogue there.
Okay, so given these really quite starkly different initial takes within Alberta on Carney's new ministers, what's the next thing we should really be watching for? What's the next potential flashpoint or maybe sign of cooperation between Ottawa and Alberta on these files?